Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom and today I'm at Retro World Expo 2025 in Hartford, Connecticut. I did a video here back in 2023 and if you remember that video, you know that this show mainly focuses on retro video games, toys, and pop culture from the 80s and 90s, and more. So come along with me and let's see what they got. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I normally do videos on flea markets where I do buy a lot of toys and video games. And I also do a lot of videos on malls, dead malls, live malls, and everything in between. So if you're into videos like that, again, please subscribe to my channel if you could. That would be great. And also, I do have to thank the organizers of the show for providing me with a press pass this year. It was very much appreciated. As you can see, this show is pretty big. It is massive, actually. There are some other shows in Connecticut that are similar to this, but in my experience, they tend to focus a lot on anime and Funko Pops, things like that, which honestly don't really interest me that much. This show, like I mentioned, is much more focused on the vintage stuff. So 80s, 90s, early 2000s for the most part. And that's really what I'm into. So that's why I would say this is my favorite video game and pop culture show in Connecticut. And we've got a vintage Alf plush. This is almost certainly from the late 80s. They're asking $12 for it, which seems like a pretty good deal.
I'm trying to get a full set.
And this is Gobo from Fraggle Rock. This is actually not vintage though. This is from 2017. They're asking $10 for it, which again sounds like a good price.
2017.
And I'm honestly not sure if they actually made Fraggle Rock toys back when the show was new. If they did, I've never seen them for sale before. So this show had pretty much something for everybody. It had very low-end stuff to very high-end stuff like this. So this is a Nintendo DS game. It says Pokemon Heart Gold version. Don't know what that is. $550. And we've got some boxed NES games. We got Kirby's Adventure for $80, Legend of Zelda at $210, Donkey Kong Country 2, $95. So, video games nowadays are definitely not cheap, that's for sure. Got a bunch of manuals here. This Donkey Kong one for the NES is $7. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, $17 for that guide. That's also from the NES. Yeah, pretty much every manual you can think of. And don't worry, they do have some Funko Pops here, but it's not overwhelming like it is at a lot of other shows. And we've got some Spawn figures. I think these are from the 90s. I do remember seeing these for sale when they came out. I never really got into Spawn, personally. I did see the cartoon movie when it came out, but that's about it. This vendor was selling mystery boxes. Looks like 5 Xbox 360 games for $20, or $4 a piece. It's not bad if the games are good, but of course you never know what you're getting. And then this is Star Wars The Phantom Menace on VHS. I actually have this, but mine is not sealed. I got mine at Goodwill for, I think, $3. Didn't see a price on that one, but I'll bet you it's more than $3. Okay, we got some Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays here, and also DVDs. Looks like the Blu-rays were mostly $5 a piece, which is reasonable. And the 4K ones were about $10, which is also reasonable because 4K Blu-rays are ridiculously expensive. If you go get them at like Walmart, that right there would probably be $30. Which is insane. Which is also why I don't buy new 4K Blu-rays anymore.
Oh, yeah, most likely.
I was really into the Garbage Pail Kids when I was a kid, like in 1985 or so. I was not aware of all the modern Garbage Pail Kids out there. And there seems to be a lot of them. And we've got a whole bunch of VHS tapes here. These are the Power Rangers on VHS. I think I heard the guy say later that the VHSs were $5 each, which is reasonable, I think, as well. Here's some more original boxed NES games from the 80s. And we got Pac-Man, which they're asking $35 for.
Not loose, not loose.
Dr. Mario was $28.
I'm sorry.
Complete in box. That's it.
Complete in the box?
Yeah.
Rounding up.
See, I already have the first one.
Captain Skyhawk, $14.99. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Must be a pretty bad game, I would guess, for that price. I swear, if I had unlimited money and unlimited space, I would buy pretty much everything here if I could. Here's Sky Shark for $33. It's also an original NES game. And we got RoboCop for the Nintendo. That's $50. I honestly have no idea what most of these games go for, so I couldn't really tell you off the top of my head if the prices are good or not, which is why I use a program on my phone to look up the prices before I buy anything. This is Starflight for the Sega Genesis. It is $40, and that is a game I have never heard of before. I'll have to look that up.
How much are the DHS tapes?
These are all $5.
All $5?
Yeah.
Forgotten Worlds, they're asking $35 for that. Don't remember what that game plays like, but I definitely remember that cover from somewhere. Revenge of Shinobi, that is an amazing game. I did play that. I had the original version though, not the Sega Classic version. And they're asking $45 for that one. I wonder if the classic version or the original goes for more money. Here's Shining in the Darkness, that's $35. And that is a game I have not played either. Never seen one of these before. This is a controller for the NES, I'm almost certain, just based on the color. It says Ultimate Super Stick, it's $25, and it is wireless. Now, a wireless controller from the mid to late 80s, I don't know about that. I would say that is probably not the most reliable controller out there. Just guessing. My favorite game system of all time is probably the Sega Master System because it was the first game system I played regularly. The Genesis, though, is a close second, and this is Aladdin for the Genesis. It was $15, which is a very good price, but that's because, at least partially, it's missing the manual. And for the most part, whenever I buy a video game like this, I do try to get it in the original box with the manual, if at all possible. Here's X-Men for the Genesis. This is one I really want, but it's really expensive. It seems to generally go for about $50, so when I saw it was only $20, I was like, whoa, that's a good deal. I'm going to buy that. But not surprisingly, it was missing the manual and the cartridge. No, the cartridge looked okay, but yeah, it's just missing the manual. Normally, like I said, when you see those complete, they're usually about $40, $50 or more. Oh, we've got a classic Atari controller. I use those for the most part on my Commodore 64 growing up. Almost never on an actual Atari. This is an NEX Max controller, $15. And that is probably one of the worst controllers I've ever used, just based on the thumb button there. That's, I don't know, it just kind of rotates around. It's not good at all. This is a Sega Saturn controller. It's $25, and I have never played the Sega Saturn or the Dreamcast. And I was surprised how much that controller felt like a 6-button Genesis controller. It's pretty much the same thing. There's a Super NES console. They're asking $125 for that, which seems to be what most people ask for them in general. And we've got a Master System game. This is Alien Syndrome. I didn't see a price on it, but that's okay because the box was really beat up. There's a tiny cut on the cover, but right here there's a huge chunk out of it. So that right away that was a no-go. Just put that back. Not even worth looking at any further. They're asking $20 for the Genesis WrestleMania game. It sounds reasonable.
Okay. Oh, you don't have the power. Okay, yeah.
Honestly, any game that is $20 or less, I would say that's probably a reasonable price. There's Echo the Dolphin. They're asking $12 for that. So that, again, that's an extremely good price, but sadly it's missing the manual. But if you're just looking for a game, that is a great price. And that's a pretty good game. I would say it's most like Sonic. They were asking $65 for this SNES Super Scope. I never had a Super Scope, but I did have the Menacer for the Genesis, which was pretty much the same thing. Here's a classic, Super Mario World for the SNES, and I played a lot of that back in the 90s. Mostly over summer vacation. Instead of hanging out with friends, because I didn't really have many friends, I would just play nonstop SNES, NES, Genesis. That's pretty much it. And it was good times, I'll tell you, it was good times. And we've got a whole bunch of action figures here. A lot of these are probably from the 90s. Some of them are probably later re-releases. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I'm mostly into toys from the 80s, some early 90s, but once we start getting up into like the 2000s, I'm starting to lose interest a little bit. But they're still really cool. Now, I know these are modern here. This Iron Man one, Count Nefaria, for 20 bucks, because I saw that at Walmart not too long ago. It's actually more expensive at Walmart. I think they were charging $24 for it there. So $20 is a really good deal. So just a heads up, you're going to see me buying a lot of Master System games at this show. And this is Monopoly for the Master System. It's 20 bucks, and it is complete in box. So 20 bucks is not a bad deal. But I checked on my phone. I actually already have this game, and I completely forgot. This is one of the original pack-in games, Hang On and Safari Hunt. It's 15 bucks. On my Master System, it came with Hang On Astro Warrior, not this one. So I do not have the Safari Hunt variant.
Hi, can you do any better on the price of the Hang On? You had it at 15?
That's up to him. It's his stuff, so.
Can you do any better on the price? You had it 15?
I could do like 13, okay?
13?
Yep.
All right, sure, I'll do that.
And this same vendor also had a bunch of old PC games from the 80s. And I'll tell you, the pricing on PC games has gone way up. 10 years ago, you could get PC games for cheap in comparison to like Sega and Nintendo games. But now they're right up there. So 40 bucks for that Tomb Raider. That Terminator game was 100, which I've actually never seen that one before. Europa Universalis, 25. Operation Crusader, 25. And then this game here, Wolfpack. I actually found this at a antique store maybe a year or two ago for I think $8. They're asking 25, which seems reasonable, but it's always fun finding these for cheap at a flea market or an antique store, etc. And this is Jane's Longbow. I had this back in the 90s. One of the hardest games I've ever played, but I loved it back then. That was an amazing game. There was a lot of great artwork at this show, but I thought these were really cool here. These RGB LED canvas wraps by a company called, I think it's Snice. And especially I like the ones in the back that are all lit up like that. They are not inexpensive, that's for sure. But I would love to have at least, you know, one or two of these on my wall. Especially that one with the serpent in the back. I don't know what that is, but that's pretty cool. So here's the pricing. And the RGB canvas, the big one, is $425.
We're over 50 watts. It is on the main stage, 4:30. Let's get it going, Retro World. Enjoy the day. Retro World Expo.
I agree with that guy. In person, that announcement was way too loud. I mean, it actually hurt my ears. I didn't see a ton of video games for the original consoles like the Atari and the ColecoVision and Television, etc. But there were a few. So that's Frogger for the ColecoVision, I think. They're asking 12 bucks for that. So like I mentioned, they mostly had vintage video games from like the 80s and 90s, but they also had some newer stuff. This is all for the Xbox One, and the pricing on these seems reasonable. Now, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on an original NES complete in box, you can also get these loose ones here. And the loose NES games tend to be fairly affordable. Like this one, Wrath of the Black Manta, is $10. Never heard of that game, but $10 sounds good to me. Now, of course, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about any of the prices here. I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to pricing video games. And this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's also $10. Again, sounds reasonable to me. And a lot, but not all of these vendors were willing to negotiate. So I would say anytime you go to a show like this, just ask them if they'll take less. You know, the worst they can do, for the most part, is just say no. Here's Iron Sword. It was $7. I actually bought this at a flea market a couple years ago, and that's probably the worst NES game I have ever played. Horrible. And here's the original pack-in, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. That one's not in the best condition, but that's almost certainly like one of the most common games out there, of course. And we got Dick Tracy for $11. Never played that one. Looks like it's based on the Warren Beatty movie. And Super Mario Brothers 3, that's a super classic. That was $18. And 1943, that was $15. Here's some complete consoles. We got the SNES. They're asking $95 for. The Nintendo 64, they're asking $90 for. And those sound like what I usually see them going for, so I think those prices are pretty good. Then there's an NES there in the back. That's $90. And then we've got some Super Nintendo games in the original boxes. These are not cheap at all. Beavis and Butthead is $70. Mortal Kombat 2, $70. Sorry, I got a little bit too close there. And yeah, a bunch of amazing games here, but yeah, in the original box, they are not cheap. Super Empire Strikes Back is $60. And that is the new Super Mario Brothers for the DS, and it's $60. I remember I found that at Goodwill for I think $5, and this was back when I was reselling, and I think I sold it for $30 on eBay. There it is again, X-Men for the Genesis, and this one is $50, which is what I normally see it going for. And then these are actually lightsabers. They're 120 each. These are the generic ones you can get. You can get them on Amazon, eBay. They're pretty abundant, I'd say. And that's roughly what they sell for. And then these are cool. I've never seen these before. At least I don't think I have. These are video game soundtracks on vinyl. This one is for Mortal Kombat 3. I didn't see any prices on these, but I did see another vendor that had a few of these, and they were asking $45 a piece for them. But again, I don't know what they're asking for these because I did not see a price. Yeah, these are really cool. I just need to get a record player. That's the only problem. And of course, if I bought one of those, I wouldn't want to play it because then I would damage it, and I don't know. It's a whole thing. And they're by a company called Respawn Records.
Sure you'll do it. So I didn't know if you wanted the controller or just the overlay. I had the overlays. You want the full controllers?
I would have loved to have this lunchbox when I was a kid back in the 80s.
I had the
It's, of course, Hulk Hogan, WWF, and I would guess that's probably from like 87 or so. Didn't see a price on it, though. And yep, we got more Master System games. Now this one is unusual. This is Altered Beast. I have Altered Beast for the Genesis, which was actually the pack-in game for the Genesis, or at least the version I got. I have never seen Altered Beast for the Master System before. I have played it on an emulator, to be honest with you, but I've never actually seen it in person. And I have to say, it doesn't play terribly on the Master System. It plays a lot better on the Genesis, of course.
Can you do any better on the price? You had $18.99.
Are you doing cash or card?
Cash.
I can do. See, I can do 15 cash.
15?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
If you want to get the full effect of playing an 8-bit or 16-bit video game, you want to play it on a CRT if possible. And these are really high-end CRTs. This is a Sony PVM, a 20N6U. It's been restored. They're asking $13.99 for it. And that is really cool. Personally, I think, just going with a regular CRT like this one on the bottom, you're probably going to get roughly the same experience, but it's not going to be quite as nice as that PVM. I've seen plenty of original Optimus Prime Transformers, but I've never seen the Power Master Optimus Prime. The box looks a lot like the original, but it's a little bit different. That is $665, so I'm guessing that's an original from, I think, 1987. I would love to have that, but just not prepared to pay that much money. And also, a lot of these Transformer toys have been reproduced overseas, and for me at least, it's really hard to tell which ones are original and which ones are reproductions. I'm not saying any of these are reproductions, I just don't know. So I'm a little bit wary about buying Transformers. At least the ones that are supposed to be originals in the original box. That's definitely a reissue, of course. I have seen that for sale at Walmart and other modern stores. And these are little tiny Masters of the Universe comic books. I'm not sure if these would have been included with some of the figures or where you would have got these, but these looked really cool.
That was returned at PSP.
Didn't see a price on them.
And gold and...
So the one that you let me borrow, yeah, I couldn't get into it. I don't know why.
I mean...
In the back here, we've got a Sega Saturn in the original box. It says tested and complete, and comes with a second controller, and they're asking $300 for it. Someday I've got to play a Sega Saturn and also a Dreamcast. Then here's a bunch of Sega 32X games. I actually bought a 32X when it was new, but actually on clearance. It was at the point where nobody was buying them, and they were going for, I think it was $30 at Toys R Us, and I bought one. And then I went across the street to Funko Land, and I bought, I think, 7 of the video games. They were all loose, and I think they were asking like $2 or $3 a piece for them back then.
Can you do any better on the Star Wars arcade, the 32X? And do you know, is it complete in box?
Yeah, it's all complete. It's my personal collection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at 30, I think I had it at a fair price.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
25? Cash?
Let me just double check. So just so you can take a quick look.
Oh yeah.
It's really nice. So all this
Is there
stuff,
a manual with that?
Let me double check. Yeah, so 25 sounds fair now. So
Okay.
I do
All right.
apologize.
No, that's all right. Yeah, I'll do 25 for that.
And it's okay with that?
Yeah.
I know I broke my rule of buying a box game with no manual, but I really wanted that one. I'm really into Star Wars, so. This is the original Sonic the Hedgehog game. It says not for resale, so I think this was a pack-in with the original console. It was $12, and it does have the manual, so that's a pretty good price. But for whatever reason, I did skip it. We got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I've already got that, so I didn't take a look at that one. But that's, of course, one of my favorite Genesis games of all time. And we've got Street Fighter 2 for $20. And yes, more Master System games. So this one is Double Dragon. It's a classic, of course. They got 23 on it. And I found out it's really hard to open up game boxes with one hand. It's got the manual, not in the best condition, but it's not terrible. So I did end up buying that. And then this is Missile Defense 3D for the Master System. And this requires the 3D glasses, which I did have as a kid, but I sold them at some point. Who knows what happened to them. This is Bob for the Genesis, and this is one of my favorite games of all time as well. I played this after school, after high school, for probably 2 years straight. It's an awesome game. And of course, Golden Axe, that's a classic. That was one of the first games I got for the Genesis. They're asking $50 for it.
Hi, is this your booth?
Yes.
You had 23 on that. Would you take 20 cash?
That's fine. I think this one has the manual and all the goodies.
Yep.
Yeah.
20? All right, sounds good.
Now here's some original Garbage Pail Kids. This is a mixture of first, second, third series, and also some later ones. The first series, I have been trying to get a complete set of the first series of the Garbage Pail Kids for literally 15 years at this point. I did buy a set on eBay probably about 15 years ago, but the seller ended up completely misrepresenting them. He described them as mint, but when I got them, they were all miscut, they were bent, it was terrible. I had to do a return with eBay, and he ended up trying to scam me, and it was like a whole thing. Luckily, I did finally get my money back on that, but since then, I have never found a set of first series Garbage Pail Kids that was reasonably priced. I think the one where the guy was trying to scam me, I think it was $200 for the complete set, which was a lot of money back then. But I think nowadays they actually go for quite a bit more than that. Here's some non-sports cards wax packs. These are $1 each. We've got Dinosaurs Attack. And in the back we've got Casper. And then these are $2 each. We've got Magnum PI. And 007 Moonraker.
65, that's not bad. Does this have the...
I still got mine. I got opening the day it came out. I never got rid of that one.
Okay, those are what I said. Oh my god. Yeah. Limit forms.
How much are you asking on the Garbage Pail Kids?
Okay, so the first series are going to range anywhere from $2 to $10.
Okay.
Series 2 all the way up to like 12 and 13 be $1 each.
Okay.
And the last series will be $3 each.
Okay.
Because they're a little harder to come by.
Thank you so much for showing me.
Anytime.
I'm gonna come back for this one. That was
okay,
nice.
cool. Thank you.
I'll take these two for $4. It was $2 each?
Yes. Nice.
This was kind of funny. They have the 12-foot Home Depot skeleton dressed up as Mario. That's a new one. And now we've got some loose SNES games. And these are not cheap either. It was $110, $108, $38, $26. So I don't know if SNES games in general are more expensive than Genesis and NES, or just those particular ones. Then we've got some more boxed SNES games. This one's pretty cool. Mech Warrior 3050. It was $65. And I remember I was a big fan of Mech Warrior 2 on the PC when that came out in the mid-90s. And I would bet it doesn't look quite as nice on the SNES than it does on the computer with the 3DFX patch. There's Pitfall, the Mine Adventure, $22. The Terminator, that's $75. A lot of great stuff here. They're asking $180 for Bonkers. It must be a rare game because I've never heard of that one before. Now I have heard of this one before, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, and they're asking $250 for that. On the right, we've got Strider for the Master System. That is $450. It says on it, ultra rare sealed. Got Contra Hardcore for the Genesis. Earthworm Jim 2 is $145. That surprises me. Don't know why that one would be so expensive. Because I would think that's a fairly common game. Could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. This is a new one. Bible Buffet, $200 for the NES, and it is signed, I guess, by one of the I don't know, but one of the creators in some way. And $135 for Slalom. That says it's the 5-screw variant. And then Castlevania 3, I did not see a price on it. And we've got some more PVMs. Didn't see a price on this one on the right, but this one on the left they're asking $1,350 for it. And we've got a Super Famicom, $149. Don't see those too often. And then an NES top loader. Here's a bunch of Atari games. Space Invaders, they're asking $10 for it. I don't know if the prices on Atari games are going up or not. They seem to be going up, though, probably because you can now buy new Atari 2600s and 7800s that use the original cartridges. They actually require the original cartridges to work, so these are probably becoming more desirable, I would guess. Because I remember in the past seeing those go for like $2, $3 a piece. And this is a ColecoVision game, Donkey Kong, and they're asking $10 on that as well. And we got Qbert there for $10. And then here's a ton of Master System games.
Alright, you want to play games with me? Welcome to the Retro World Expo in downtown Hartford. You want to play games? Go to the main stage. Press your luck. Game shows starting on the main stage in just a couple minutes. Contestants can partake. Go and win some money, bring home some memories, and have some fun. Boom shakalaka!
Got Shanghai for the Master System. This one is some sort of, I don't know what you call it, a board game, a tabletop game, so not really interested. Then we got Action Fighter, and that looks a lot like Spy Hunter to me. They're asking $20 for it, and it does have the original manual. And we've got Eternal Champions for the Genesis. I actually just bought this fairly recently at Brimfield, so I don't need another one. And then we've got Rambo First Blood Part 2 for the Master System, and they're asking $25 for this one. And yes, it does have the manual.
Excuse me. Could you do 40 for these two? You got 20 and 25, so $5 for the off for the two.
$5 off, cash only.
Yep, I got cash.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
This is another favorite game of mine from the 90s. This is Desert Strike for the Genesis. It's $15. And I loved all the Strike series games. They were really good. And they hold up today, too, I think. Got Revenge of Shinobi at $60. I don't think I ever played Revenge of Shinobi, but I'm certain I did play the original Shinobi. Here's something you don't see too often. This is an original Nintendo Virtual Boy store display. And they're asking $6,000 for it. And in case you're wondering, they don't want you touching it. Doesn't seem to be turned on though.
Look. That's the official Nintendo seal. It's a real game.
Alright, let's go ahead and grab those two that you want.
I can't believe it reacts. Oh wait, what if these break our
Got Rocky for the Master System is $20.
$10.
Gangster Town, $17. I did have that. I remember we had Gangster
we do.
Town. And that requires the zapper gun.
You'll have to wait a second.
And here's Zaxxon 3D again. And this does use the 3D glasses. So I can't technically play this currently because I don't have the 3D glasses anymore. But that one was $20. There's Ghostbusters. I already have that. They're asking $25 for it. That was really not a good game. I remember playing that a lot as a kid, and it was just not that great. Then we got Space Harrier 3D. This also requires the glasses, and I definitely had this. I remember getting it for my birthday at one point. They're asking $25 for it. Pro Wrestling. I had this too, $10, and I played the heck out of this with my brother. We used to always play this together. It's a great game. It doesn't look like it necessarily, but trust me, it's a great game.
All set. Thanks.
Here's another copy of Zaxxon 3D, but this one's only $15. And another copy of Double Dragon, but I already bought it. For that same price, too.
Excuse me. Hey, sorry. You got this one at 10 and 15. Would you take 20 for the two cash?
I do 22.
22? All right, I'll do that.
And again, my 11-year-old self would have loved this. This is the WWF Royal Rumble store display, $550. And we got some pins. These are $8 each. Don't recognize any of those characters. And then I'm not 100% sure what these are. It says Sega Pages, $400 each. And okay, now I'm guessing maybe there were magazines in this? That would make sense. But I don't think I've ever seen those before. That Sega Genesis store sign in the back there is $1,000. Not really sure what system these games are for. There's a PC game, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. That's $100. And some more game systems I don't recognize. And then these are these game soundtracks on LP, and you can see they're asking $45 a piece for them. And we've got some more loose NES games. These ones, I guess, are the higher end ones. That Wacky Races is $375. I'm not going to go over the prices on all of them here, but they're mostly in like the $15 to $35 range or so, which isn't too expensive for the most part. This is really cool. All these old CRTs, televisions, and monitors and whatnot, playing all this vintage stuff. I think that's really cool. I think they had something like this a couple years ago, but it wasn't exactly the same. Nintendo 64 for $250. The original NES control deck is $275. That Nintendo 64 is $225. Got a Switch for $179. And this game system cabinet is $160. And then they've got a Sega Dreamcast for $425. Pretty cool. And the Power Glove for $250. Now, these are Sega Genesis homebrews. Basically, they're modern games that are meant to play on the Sega Genesis. Looks like most of them are priced at $36.
Hello, by the way.
Hi.
It's too early to be tired. No, it is. You Genesis guy?
Yeah, Genesis, Master System.
Are you
Old
looking
school.
for anything in particular?
No, just whatever catches my eye.
Gotcha, man. You know, feel free to open it if you want to take a look too.
These are homebrews, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're, you know, either translations from Japanese and English or just totally like brand new fan
Yeah.
games.
Okay, cool.
And then these appear to be Nintendo homebrews. And I have to say, the packaging is really nice. They're asking $42 for that one. Castlevania: The Holy Relics.
Like, I love a secret rare.
They're asking $150 for this Intellivision in the original box. They're asking $250 for this NES action set. Says it's complete in box. And for those of you thinking about becoming a furry, they got you set here. We've got some tails and ears. The ears were $20.
I want it to be like, you know, special. I'm surprised that I saw it out. Yeah, because I had 3 one-on-ones.
Break over sitting down. If you're okay with that.
I'm pretty sure this is the Panoche Palace Voltron. It's $200, which is roughly what they sell for. And I never liked the Panoche Palace version of Voltron. It just looks goofy to me. It's nowhere near as nice as the original Matchbox version. These are She-Ra books from the 80s, and I am fairly certain I saw these exact ones at the Shop the Curiosity toy show just a few months ago, and I'm pretty sure they were $30 for all of them there as well. But I remember some woman buying them, and I think I'm buying them back from her right now for the same price. They were asking $50 for this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV dinner tray. And the baby dinosaur from Dinosaurs was $125.
We'll do something soon.
I'm not sure what those are. Those are Micronauts, which I never got into.
Hi, excuse me. You had $30 for all of these? I think it said $8 each or $30 for all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, I'll take those. $30.
Here's a sealed Dreamcast, and they're asking $3,500 for it. The Sega CD's $400. I guess you get the 32X and the Sega CD, and another Power Glove. Never actually used a Power Glove.
$40.
For a second, I thought this was a Voltron 2, but it is
I've never
not.
seen this version. I think I had it as a kid, but it wasn't.
Looks very similar.
Yeah. Got $50 on this thing.
The other guys get $7.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of cool.
Try to undercut.
Yeah.
This thing in the blue box here is a Sega Genesis Model 3. I have the original Model 1, and I have seen Model 2s. I very rarely see Model 3s, though. Personally, if you're going to buy an original Genesis, I would go with the original Model 1. And then this is for the Sega Dreamcast. I'm guessing it's some kind of light phaser, but I'm not sure. I've never seen one of these before. It's a Game Boy e-reader bundle, and they're asking $1,350 for it. Then here's a Virtual Boy with 5 games. They're asking $550. And an original Game Boy for $70. I think I have 2 of those. They're in a box somewhere. Probably in one of my storage units. And then here's a Vectrix. Don't see these too often. And this one includes 2 games, and they're asking $500 for it. And then we've got an Odyssey 2. I see this one a lot. I don't see the Odyssey 1 too often, but the Odyssey 2 is everywhere at flea markets and antique shops. Didn't see a price on it, but in my experience, they don't go for a ton of money. It might be worth $100-$200 max, maybe.
We have an American game today. So they'll sign it, they'll do whatever descriptions you want.
There's some more PVMs. This one's a Sony 1343 MD, fully restored, and they're asking $9.99 for it.
Yeah. I loved it. And I used to have a Miata, so like a lot of
I think this one is just a regular old TV, but it's been modified with an RGB hookup, which gives you a slightly better picture, and it is $660. There's Dan Larson from the YouTube channel Secret Galaxy. They do really well-produced videos on the history of toys and various toy lines. Highly recommend it. That's Superpowers Batwing for $5. That has got to be a modern reissue or reproduction. Because an original Superpowers Batwing like that would go for a lot more. They're asking $25 for this Transformer, and if anybody knows the name of this Transformer, let me know in the comments.
Thank you so much. And then do you still need all 3 of them together? When they come back...
Here's some original Xbox games. Looks like most of these are $5, which is a pretty good deal. I really like the original Xbox. I actually have one that's been modded with I think it's a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's just full of games. It's great. This is interesting. This is Sonic Roboblast for the Sega 32X, and they're actually playing it on original 32X hardware. So I'm guessing this is a homebrew, but I am not certain because I've never heard of it before. And then this, I've never heard of this game either. This is Retro Mania Wrestling. It actually came out in 2021. And I gotta get this. I'm not a huge fan of wrestling anymore, but I love games like this. This looks really cool. These are some former professional wrestlers. We got Tommy Dreamer and Demolition. And I have to say, I was really only watching WWF as a kid, so I don't think I ever saw them wrestle. Could be wrong, but don't think so. So this has Twisted Metal on it, Sweet Tooth. So I'm guessing this is from the new Twisted Metal TV show, which I have not seen. And I don't know if this was actually in the show or if this is just based on the one in the show. This is the Legacy Collection Millennium Falcon. They're asking $250 for it, and it is massive. I would say it's twice the size as the original Millennium Falcon.
Good, how are you doing? No, just looking. Whatever catches my eye.
In addition to selling video games, toys, and collectibles, they also have a lot of consoles set up that you can play free of charge. I think on this side of the room, a lot of these were part of a tournament, but on the other side of the room, they just had them set up for you to play freely. I've mentioned it a few times, but I do collect vintage joysticks for whatever reason. Now this is a quick shot joystick. I've got a few of those for the PC, but that one is for the Nintendo. So I don't have one of those, and it was only $10, so I had to get it. These are something I don't see too often. These are Sega Game Gear games in the original boxes. I assume these are originals. I'm not sure though, because I've never seen them in person before, and they were priced very reasonably. These were that was $6.99. Echo is $7.99. Incredible Hulk $7.99. Captain America's $33.99. Got Star Wars at $16.99.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
Now, again, because I've never seen these before, I don't know, but I would assume they would have originally come with a manual. That one did not have a manual, though, so I passed. We got Super Return of the Jedi, that's $27.99. Sonic Spinball, $9.99. And again, no manual. So I'm wondering, did these originally come with manuals?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take this. It's $9.99.
Does anybody know what this giant Voltron is? I don't think I've ever seen that one before. They're asking $500 for it. I don't think it's from the 80s. It looks newer than that, but again, never seen that one before. And I could be wrong, but these might be original Power Rangers dolls. Or action figures, I should say, sorry. $15 each. $35 for the stuffed Voltron. And I've never seen these before. These are Voltron figures. They were $10 apiece. Looks like we've got a Tetris tournament going on here. Looks like they're asking $10 for this Snoopy phone, which would be a really good price if he were in better condition, but he's very yellowed. It looks like he's missing his cord, but yeah, if I saw one of those in good condition for $10, I would buy it immediately. And I can't go anywhere without finding these 1973 Pepsi Looney Tunes glasses. Sadly, they don't have the ones I'm looking for. Still looking for the Slowpoke and the Henry Hawk one.
You're going to go for it. $7,000. Okay, $2,400 one spin left. If you decide to pass, it's going to go to Michael, and if he wins, you'll get first place. Press your luck or pass. You're going to go?
Hopefully everybody already knows what this is, but this is, of course, Kit from Knight Rider. This is not one of the original kits from the show, as far as I know, but it's a pretty nice reproduction. And then this is a reproduction of one of the cars from Men in Black, the original movie. And this was also here back in 2023. Not sure why they're torturing this alien. Looks like they've got him hooked up to the exhaust pipe. That's not very nice.
Now you have to forget you ever saw it.
Of course, I couldn't pass up playing the Sega Master System, and it's actually playing Double Dragon, which is one of the games I bought today.
What? Oh, stop it, Chase. Stop it, Chase. Stop it, Chase. Stop it, Chase. Stop it now. Stop it. How does he kick out from a tombstone? How does he kick out from a tombstone?
And this is a game system I've heard of before, but I've never seen in person, never played. This is the MSX. They also had a free play arcade and pinball set up over here, so let's see what they got. Here's a couple of NES Advantage joysticks. These were 20 bucks a piece. And I did have one of those once, but I did not like it. I much preferred the gamepad over the joystick. And we've got some more sealed consoles. This Dreamcast is $125. The 2600 is 70 bucks. NES is $190. The Super Famicom is $100. The Nintendo 64s are $100. And that Genesis 2 is $60. Got an original PlayStation, I think, for 50 bucks. Xbox, PS2, and a TurboGrafx 16. Don't see these too often. That is $250. This is Alien Storm for the Master System, and they're asking $58. That one must be rare or something. And then this is Ghostbusters for the Genesis. That's $105. The one for the Master System is $25, and that one is a $105. Usually it would be the other way around, you'd think. And they've got a Vectrex in the original box with 15 games, and they're asking $1,200 for it. And then there's an original NES Deluxe set with Rob. Didn't see a price on it, but it's probably pretty expensive. 200 bucks for the Nintendo 64, and then 160 for the Odyssey 2. Here's a whole bunch of NES zappers. They were $15 for the orange ones and $20 for the gray. The gray ones were the original ones, and I think they made the orange ones because some people apparently mistook the original one for a real weapon. I think that's why they changed the color. This Game Boy is $120. Looks like it might have a new screen on it, which is why it's more expensive. And those Game Boys are $120, $90, $110. And more Game Gear games. See, now these ones look a little bit different than the other ones I saw. The other ones had solid plastic cases, and these are paper cardboard cases, so I'm not sure what the difference is. That one they're asking 90 bucks for. And then there's a Super Nintendo in the box for $175. 32X for $250. It's quite a bit more than the $30 I paid for it 30 years ago at this point. That Atari's $150. TurboGrafx is $400. And then this is an Atari 400 computer. I've never seen one of these in person before, and I have to say, that is the worst keyboard feel I have ever felt. Got an Atari 5200. They're asking 80 bucks on it. They were asking $350 for this Nintendo Power Set, which has the pad that you jump on. And they're asking $350 for this Game Boy. Here's a vintage handheld video game system. This is Soccer by Tandy, and sadly it's missing the battery door. And they've got a few other handheld video game systems here. This one's Golf by Tandy. It's 15 bucks. And this one is Fire Away by Radio Shack. It's 8 bucks. I was considering buying that one, but decided to pass for who knows what reason. I've never seen this one before. It's Split Second by Parker Brothers, and they're asking $15 for it. Kind of looks like Merlin. This is another Genesis game I played a ton of back in the 90s, LHX Attack Copter. And I loved it at the time, but I tried to play it again recently on an emulator, and it was terrible. I don't know what I was thinking back in the 90s. And these are some TurboGrafx 16 games. They were $75 for Bravo Man and $130 for Blood Wolf. Here's some fancy Nintendo 64s. We got the Pikachu one is $325. And then this purple one is, what's that say, $300.
I don't. I wish I did.
Ghouls and Ghosts, that's another classic Genesis game. I had that as a kid. That's $60. And then some Atari Jaguar games. I don't see these too often. And for a game system that most people say was terrible, they sure do charge a lot for their games. That one is $80. And then this is Pitfall. And they're asking $80 for Pitfall as well. And yes, they've got wrestling. I was excited to see it, but not as excited as that guy.
The Retro World, that contest may be over, but we have some wrestling contests just starting. Get on over here, Blitzkrieg Pro. We are here for Retro World Expo. Are you ready? No. Y'all can be louder than that. I said, are you ready? Now that is what I'm talking about. Your opening contest is a singles match, and it is scheduled for. All right, when I say that, y'all new to this business gotta scream, one fall. This is ladies and gentlemen, Retro World. He is the Silver Sniper, T.J. Crawford.
This is my world. Welcome to it.
Making his way by way of New York's Hammock District. His weight tonight is being withheld for tax purposes. Retro World, welcome,
Take care.
Now, before I left, I did want to stop at Retro World's booth here, where they do have some of their own merchandise. They got shirts, posters, hats, pins, and these desk mats or giant mouse pads, whatever you want to call them.
These mouse pads?
Actually, I think they're kind of like the gaming mats.
Oh, okay. How much are these?
So they're asking $30 for these guys.
Okay.
Sorry, your voice sounds so familiar.
Does it? Flea Bitten Adventures. I have a YouTube channel. Yep, it's me. Nice to see you. Yeah. I'll actually take one of these pins here. $15. Looks good.
I love this 80s living room they have set up here. And I'd say it's fairly accurate. You got the giant VCR, the wood console TV, the rotary telephone. The couch is not period accurate, but I'll let that slide. Now don't go quite yet. At the very end of the video, we have a little bit of a surprise, a guest appearance you could say, so stay tuned for just a couple more minutes. But in the meantime, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more videos coming up, and if you want to see more convention type videos like this, please let me know. Also, if you really want to help out the channel, please check out my Patreon account, which is also called Flea Bitten Adventures. For a monthly fee, you do get access to exclusive videos. And also, please check out my second YouTube channel, which is called Flea Bitten Side Quests, where I have videos on pretty much everything other than flea markets, malls, or conventions. When I was driving in, I noticed there was a DeLorean parked out here, and I wanted to see it, of course. And luckily, I made it just in time, because just as I was leaving, they were leaving. All right, and there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.